At Starkey, we believe in better. Hearing should be natural, seamless, effortless. But not everyone can do effortless. Effortless takes imagination. It takes innovation delivered by talent. To achieve it takes originality and a vision to define a new era. Effortless hearing opens a world of new possibilities. And it's here. Evolv AI is Starkey's new complete family of the world's most innovative hearing technology. A full selection of future-forward hearing aids with revolutionary Starkey sound. It's our most exceptional sound quality ever, connecting patients to more hearing moments. With 55 million automatic adjustments every hour. Yeah, you heard that right. 55 million every hour. It's friendly AI. Always on, always automatic. We imagine effortless in every aspect. Effortless is connected. It's style. It's power. And it's experiencing every little thing in life. Making hearing effortless is something that was imagined. We just made it a reality. Better hearing, now effortless. Evolv AI.
Budjeri Warrigal, I'm behind you. Kamui. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome. If you don't mind, you can turn your chair around if you like, it's okay. Instead of getting a sore neck looking back at me. My name is Matthew Doyle. I'm a descendant of the Murawari Aboriginal Nation, who come from the far northwest of New South Wales, up near Queensland. However, I was born right here in Sydney, on this land that we gather on this evening, which is the land of the Gadigal. The Gadigal are one of many clans that make up what we call today the Eora Nation, also known as the Darug Nation as well. But Sydney is made up of 29 clans that all call Sydney home today. It is customary in our culture that we acknowledge the land that we are on. We acknowledge the custodians. And as mentioned, we are here on the land of the Gadigal, where I was born and raised. It is also customary that we acknowledge our elders, we acknowledge our ancestors, and we acknowledge the spirits of this land as well, who are always with us and amongst us and taking care of us. It's also important to acknowledge where you come from. I know there are people watching all around the world as well, tuning in. It's also important to acknowledge the land that you are on and the original people of the areas or country that you are in as well. And this is a way of showing respect. And for us, respect is a very important law in our culture. We couldn't walk onto another person's land without being welcomed by them. If we were welcome, we were then given permission to be on their land and to respect their laws while we're on their land, whether we were visiting or passing through to somewhere else. So welcome to country is about respect, respecting the original owners, traditional custodians of the land, but also extending that respect to visitors to our country or our land as well. And when we welcome you onto country, we don't welcome you as visitors. We welcome you as family. And we embrace you as family, as brothers and sisters, as we're all part of the human race. Taji balang, onia, yoli birangu maragongorang, garigolora. Waranai baro, ungungamania, talinrangun, panyajaminka, chalkalania. So in the language of the Gadigal, that means we're acknowledging the land, the waters, the ancestors, the people. And we embrace you and hold out our hand in friendship and embrace you as family. I've also acknowledged the area which we're on, right behind us, this beautiful view out the window there is known as Waranai, or those here in Sydney or in Australia would know as Circular Quay. So this area is known as Waranai, and right to the north of us is Dawa, or Dara, which is Dawes Point. Both very important places culturally for the Gadigal people. So it is indeed an honour and a pleasure to welcome you all here this evening. those that are here in the room and those that are tuning in around the world. Didrigura, thank you very much. Stay safe and peace. Yandala, thank you.
Hello, and thank you for joining us for this exciting event as we launch our newest innovative hearing technology. Today, a new era of better hearing has arrived after a journey that started many years ago. In 2018, we brought you Evolv AI, a first-of-its-kind hearing aid with artificial intelligence and capabilities beyond what was previously thought possible. With your partnership, we reduced the stigma of hearing aids by reinventing them and changed countless lives. Today, we bring to you the second generation of our vision, Evolv AI, Starkey's most complete family line of products in the last 15 years, ranging from the smallest custom hearing aids on the market to our most powerful behind-the-ear product. We have developed and integrated advanced technologies in order to make the Evolv AI line of products and experience effortless. Effortless hearing, effortless connection, and effortless selection. And while delivering the best sound quality for every listening situation. At Starkey, we know that better hearing is best served through you, the hearing healthcare professional. What is best for your patient is best for you, our valued customers. We know from the new Evolv AI patients here in the US and other countries around the world that with the Evolv AI line of products, your patients will be hearing better and living better. Thank you for joining us as we celebrate the launch of Evolv AI, and we are looking forward to an exciting year ahead and to partnering with all of you to change people's lives every day through better hearing. At Starkey, people are the bottom line.
Hello and welcome everybody. You're going to have a really nice mixture of some videos this evening. Welcome to everybody online. Welcome to everybody that's managed to join us face to face. This is our very first event in what seems like a very long time, almost 3 years now. So we're all very excited to be here and welcome you. So thanks for taking the time out of your days to come and join us. We're going to be talking a lot, you'll hear the word effortless a lot tonight, and I certainly hope the show goes effortlessly and seamlessly, shall we say, from now on. My name's Dawn Rawlings, for those of you that don't know. I'm the Managing Director at Starkey Australia. I would like to special welcome to people that are joining us online, specifically across Asia Pacific as well. So we have people in Singapore, Taiwan, and Malaysia too. So welcome to everybody. What I would like to do is just kick things off tonight and just talk a little bit about, when we're talking about Evolv, what does Evolv mean to us? And if we look at the translation or interpretation definition of what Evolv means, it does mean to get better at doing something, get a little bit more sophisticated, and make something that is quite complex simple. So that's really, I think every product launch, every naming convention has a story, and a very lovely story we'll tell you tonight. When we think about how Starkey Technologies has evolved, for example, many years ago, back in 1967, I think it was, Starkey Laboratories was born by Bill Austin, making molds in an e-mold lab. And then you fast forward into the 80s, where President Ronald Reagan was fitted with some custom hearing aids, and it really made hearing aids okay at that point, and it really transformed what hearing devices were doing, what hearing aids were doing for people. And then most recently with Evolv AI, we've transformed what a hearing device does from a single-purpose device to help you hear better, to a multi-purpose device where we're looking at the healthable features and the healthable activities and trackers that the hearing aids do. When we take a snapshot though, nothing changes for Starkey per se. Our mission, everything that we do is to be better today than yesterday, better tomorrow than today. And that's really about not just evolving, but progressing everything we do. We're just going to do that a little bit better tomorrow than we did today. Whether that's, the next generation of hearing devices, whether that's looking at the next stage of research and technology. Judy will be talking a little bit about that in a moment as well. So really pushing that window. We want things to become effortless, not just for the patients that you see, but the relationship that we have with you and the products that we supply to be able to give you the best solution possible in your hands so that you can really connect with your patient and give them a better quality of life through better hearing. What I would like to say is, just before I hand over to Judy, is, hope you enjoy this evening. There's a lot of information we're going to share with you, but really it is about, having the biggest sort of launch we've ever done at Starkey. So whether it's a very small IIC you're looking for, whether it's a very powerful product, you'll find that the whole product range, we have it all. So exceptional sound has been at the heart of everything we do, the most important thing we do. Complete lineup in terms of styles, what you might be wanting to really give you that effortless experience. So without further ado, I'll hand over to Judy Grobstein.
Thank you, Dawn. Good evening, everybody. My name is Judy Grobstein. I manage the education and audiology at Starkey, Australia. Most people in Australia know me as the webinar girl, the one that does all the webinars. Thank you for joining us here in person, our first live event in 3 years, and those of you who are joining us online as well. Dawn said you'll be hearing the word effortless a lot tonight because that's what you expect when it comes to innovations. Your patient expects to hear effortlessly, and you expect the fittings to be effortless as well. So with that in mind, we're going to be talking about how we are providing the best sound quality ever so that your patients can truly hear with effortless hearing. We're going to talk about how we have the widest range of style options ever available at one time in one single product launch. And then lastly, Dave Fabry is going to be talking about how your patients can connect effortlessly. No time has that been more important than over the last 2 years when we really rely on technology to stay connected to those across the street, across the world. Your patients need to stay connected to you as their clinician and loved ones and caregivers in their lives. So let's start with effortless hearing. Obviously, that's our main goal, providing the best hearing possible. And when we think about our patients that we're seeing on a regular basis, we're looking that they're satisfied with their technology, that they're satisfied with their hearing aids. And if we look at the most recent market track data, we know that the top drivers for patient satisfaction are the hearing aid performance and sound quality. Specifically, they're looking at hearing aids sound clear and natural. We want to ensure that we are optimizing speech, particularly in challenging environments with background noise. We obviously want to make loud sounds comfortable, and they need to know which direction the sounds are coming from. So our solution for that is what we're calling Starkey Sound. So Starkey Sound, our goal is for hearing to be effortless. The patient puts the hearing aids in and they don't need to do anything to have amazing sound quality. Always on, always automatic, and always effortless. So let's sort of break down Starkey Sound and everything that's involved with it. At the heart of Starkey Sound is our Thrive platform. So one thing we do at Starkey is we always use state-of-the-art, robust components. So just one of them in particular, our MEMS microphone. We use good silicone microphones to make sure that the signal doesn't degrade over time. We use our dual radio technology so that they're using 2.4 gigahertz to connect via their mobile phone or accessories, but also NFMI when needed to cross through the body for ear-to-ear processing and cross technology. We've always done music well for your patients, and we do that with our multi-core twin compression architecture. So when speech is a priority, we can truly focus on speech. But if a patient comes in and says that music is important to them, we have an amazing music memory available. And then when it comes to artificial intelligence and sensor technology, Starkey is still the only manufacturer that is using this technology to be able to do things like classify an acoustic environment so that we can provide the best sound quality possible. We're able to track physical activity. We're able to detect if somebody has a fall and alert their loved ones. And we can use this for our voice recognition technology as well. So the first layer of our Starkey Sound is our Thrive platform. Second to that, the second layer is our core audio features, integral to getting that best sound quality at that best fit right out of the box. So it all starts with our ESTAT fitting formula. We've continued to evolve this over the years. We have an amazing feedback canceller. I think that's one thing Starkey's always been known to handle feedback incredibly well. We use a phase cancellation feedback algorithm, so we're never sacrificing gain for your patient. Last year, we introduced our REM target match, so making it easier and more effortless for you as clinicians to fit your patients. The REM target match, we have several compatible REM equipment available, and the one thing it does is we've clinically proven that it speeds up the fitting process for you, giving you more time to build the relationship with your patient for important things like counseling. So it's running both ears together and instantly, automatically matches the gain to target. And as I said, we want to do, everything we do at Starkey is evidence-based. So we wanted to do some clinical trials to really look at, is our technology doing what we say it's doing? And what we did is our US clinical research team compared doing REMs with the traditional way with external equipment and using our integrated REM target match system. And what they found is it actually cut the amount of time in half. So you're able to do your REM target match in less than 5 minutes, freeing up that time for you to spend with your patients. The next layer of Starkey sound is our incredible noise management features, which we call our environment management. We have our slow-acting noise management features, so that would include our wind management, so looking for the turbulence over the microphone. And in our premium technology level, we're giving up to 30 dB of wind management when necessary. Our machine noise management is giving patients with comfort with louder, steady-state noises. And then we have our quiet, which is our expansion, ensuring that low-level noises and quiet environments are comfortable. And lastly, our auto music. When speech is the priority, we're focused on speech. But when there's background music, we're ensuring it's at a comfortable level. Then we have our faster-acting noise management features. Our speech and noise, we've clinically proven that we're reducing the patient's listening effort. They're not getting as cognitively fatigued in those challenging environments. Then we have our speech and loud noise, which is our binaural noise management system, and our transient noise management to give comfort for louder, sudden bursts of energy. But we've improved upon all of this with the Evolv AI product family. So what you have now is an increase of 2 dB in noise suppression across the board in all technology tiers of Evolv AI. And what this equates to is actually a 40% reduction in noise energy, even compared to Livio. The Evolv AI products were launched in the US about 5 or 6 months ago, and what we're hearing from patients and our customers, the clinicians who are fitting them, is that the sound quality is like nothing they've heard before. It really is amazing. In addition to that, if you move the patient to level 4 in our premium level, the 2400 level, we are going to hit that max of now 22 dB of noise management at a 10 dB softer input. So they're getting that noise management they need sooner, really giving them comfort. So what I'm going to do now is introduce Dr. Arkell Giorgio. She is our Chief Health Officer in the US, and she's going to talk to you a little bit more about Starkey sound and how this not only improves the patient hearing, but also their overall health and wellness.
Hello, I'm Dr. Arkell Giorgio, Starkey's Chief Health Officer. You will hear that Evolv AI makes a staggering 55 million automatic adjustments every hour based on the surrounding soundscape. While our engineers and technology experts can explain how that works, I want to explain why it matters. It matters because sound is personal. We know that in medicine, one size does not fit all. We apply precision medicine and diagnostics to determine the best treatment for cardiac care, cancer, diabetes, osteoporosis, even kidney stones. A patient's biological, social, and physical environment characteristics are all taken into account to design a precise regimen tailored just for them, because one size doesn't fit all. And in hearing healthcare, one sound doesn't fit all. Evolv AI is delivering personalized medicine by offering personalized sound. And my hope is that just as personalized medicine improves health outcomes, personalized sound will improve hearing health outcomes. The noise management system in Evolv AI is unprecedented, and we call it Starkey Sound. The AI engine that powers Starkey Sound technology instantly knows what sound matters and distinguishes it from what's noise. The result? Evolv AI provides an additional 40% reduction in noise energy compared to Livio and suppresses as much as 94% of the noise in challenging listening situations. But why does that matter? Because one of the earliest symptoms of hearing loss is what people call the cocktail party problem, hearing in a noisy environment. This can have a large impact on day-to-day functioning because people with the cocktail party problem struggle to follow conversations and fully engage at the table. Until now, it was unclear whether difficulty hearing speech in noise was a problem or associated with developing dementia. Well, we have clarity now. Last July, a large new study done at the University of Oxford showed that people with even moderate speech and noise hearing impairment had a 61% increase in the risk of developing dementia. And people with poor speech and noise hearing had a staggering 91% increased risk. The good news is that treating speech and noise and addressing this cocktail party problem early has the potential to decrease the risk of dementia. One of the advances you will hear about in Evolv AI is in the performance of Edge Mode, already one of our most popular AI technology features. Edge Mode puts the power of AI at the fingertips of the patient, clarifying speech on demand. We've had extremely positive feedback about how Edge Mode helps people understand conversations in difficult situations, including when people are wearing masks. And now, Evolv AI takes Edge Mode to the next level by enhancing this feature based on 85 trillion sound characterizations. We have also made Edge Mode even more effortless to initiate. You can either double tap on the device, and now you can also activate Edge Mode from the Thrive app. Edge Mode is an absolutely awesome hearing feature, but let me explain how Edge Mode is also an important health feature. The working memory in your brain is like the RAM in your computer. It allows you to quickly decipher and interpret language. That same bank of working memory capacity is also what allows you to understand a story, get the nuance of a joke, participate in conversation, or just perform a simple task. With hearing loss, you use more working memory, more RAM, to decipher sounds and understand speech. This means you have less RAM, less capacity to listen and learn. And this is one mechanism that we believe is the link between hearing loss and dementia. Since Edge Mode makes it easier to hear and decipher words and language, your brain can focus on learning. And learning is what lets us understand the world. Learning is what allows us to find meaning. Learning is living. That's why Evolv AI's effortless connection matters.
All right, I think that's some great information from Arkel. All right, so I'll come back to Edge Mode in a minute, but I quickly wanted to remind you of a few additional patient-driven features. The key thing is patients don't need to do anything to have amazing hearing, but we know that some patients like to have more control. So we do have our Voice AI feature. This actually lets a patient, if they're an iPhone user, use the microphone in their iPhone as a remote microphone. We also have our mask mode available within the Thrive app. We know how challenging it can be when having conversations with people who are wearing masks. I don't think masks are going anywhere anytime soon. And we do know they have a lot of communication barriers as far as no visual cues, attenuating the high frequencies. So the mask mode will bring back that sound quality. Coming back to Edge Mode, as Dr. Arkel said, we have made some improvements to the Edge Mode feature. If you're not familiar with Edge Mode, what it's doing is using the machine learning and artificial intelligence to constantly be scanning the environment so we know exactly what the audio input is. And if the patient needs a next level of comfort and clarity, they engage Edge Mode and immediately have an improvement in sound quality. Well, we not only refined the parameters and algorithms of Edge Mode so so it sounds even better than it ever did, but we're making it available for even more patients by bringing it now down to the 1600 level in the Evolv AI product family. As I said, everything at Starkey is clinical based and evidence based. So we actually did a study where we wanted to see how edge mode performed against a normal memory and also how it performed against a dedicated memory, particularly for a challenging environment. And in this case, we looked at a car environment. We know that if you're driving in a car, particularly if you have the window down, you've got road noise, you've got car noise, you might be concentrating on a conversation with somebody who's in the car. It's quite challenging. So we wanted to look at how did edge mode compare to normal in that environment, and how did it compare to a dedicated car memory. And we were really happy edge mode actually outperformed normal. So patients preferred edge mode for comfort, for clarity, and overall performance compared to their normal memory. When we compared it to a dedicated car memory, they also found it to be equal or better in comfort, clarity, and overall performance. So what this tells us is that with edge mode, you don't really need additional memories or programs. All they need is edge mode. The great thing about this, if you give somebody a restaurant memory, they have to use that in every single different restaurant they go to, and what happens in different restaurants can be quite different. With edge mode, it's analyzing the exact environment, the exact audio input in that particular restaurant, and giving them the best comfort and clarity wherever, whenever they need it. So effortless for the patient, all they need to do is simply engage edge mode. And we made that even more effortless as well by putting the button on the Thrive app. They no longer have to do the double tap or use the user control. They can simply take out their phone and engage it via the button in the Thrive app. So that's what you have with Starkey's sound, making it more effortless for the patient, amazing sound quality. We're doing all of this in real time on a channel by channel basis. And Starkey actually has over 100 patents specific to sound quality features. So that's pretty amazing, really giving the patient the hearing they need. And as Dr. Arkell said, we are actually giving them 55 million adjustments every hour when they're wearing the Evolv AI hearing aids. They don't need to do anything. Put the hearing aids on. All of the hard work is the processing behind the scenes. So really allowing them to have amazing sound quality for all of life's little and big hearing moments. But don't just take it from us. I want to introduce somebody that some of you may know if you grew up in the 80s like me and Paul, one of Paul's favorite musicians, Huey Lewis. I found that not as many people know who he is in Australia, especially people who are younger than me, but if you're a fan of Back to the Future, you might be familiar with his music. He was fit with Starkey hearing aids and gave us a really nice testimonial.
You've been wearing the Livios for
I love my Livios.
Yeah.
And I can't live without my Livios.
Okay.
So I was a little bit apprehensive about trying the Evolvs, to be honest. But I love the Evolvs.
So you're happy with what we've done for your hearing?
Oh, I'm ecstatic. I'm the special case that, my hearing's really bad without my Starkeys. I'm virtually deaf. Yeah, they're my most important possession.
All right, how many of us are going to have the Back to the Future soundtrack song stuck in your head the rest of the night? I won't sing it for you. All right, now that we know we've given patients effortless hearing, let's go into effortless selection. As I said, this is our biggest product launch. Most times when manufacturers launch a product, it may only be a RIC or standard products, or now we're launching customs. You have everything all at once here. And the challenge for everyone is that we know no two patients are the same. Every patient is unique. Even if they may come in with the same audiogram, what they want with their hearing and hearing aids might be completely different. They all have different lifestyles, they have different hearing demands, and that's part of our challenge. What the challenge is for the patient is they want a cosmetically appealing product, something that they're confident about walking out wearing. They want it to be incredibly easy to use, and they obviously want it to perform well and give them good sound quality. For us as professionals, we want a variety of style options to choose from. We want a power option that's going to meet all of our patients' needs, and we want to be able to give them rechargeable options if that's what they want. And with Evolv AI, we made the choice effortless for you by giving you every style option all in the Evolv AI product family. And one thing Starkey's always been known for is making amazing custom products. We're the manufacturer to go when you need custom hearing aids. We're able to provide a lot of power. We're able to make them small and comfortable in the patient's ears so that they can wear them all day comfortably. So we're really excited to launch the smallest of small, non-wireless IIC and CIC in the Evolv AI product family. It's been a while since you've had a new IIC, so we're really excited to give this to you on this platform. So for those patients who want something invisible, you now have a wonderful option for them. So if we take a look at this, your non-wireless CIC will be available in 4 technology tiers and the IIC in 3, down to the 1600 technology level. Both will have a size 10 battery. You can get a push button on the CIC. And do you guys remember T2 remote? They'll have that app option, especially for the IIC if they want to be able to control volume and memory. That's using the dual tone multi-frequency technology. So we have an invisible solution for those who want it. But we also know that some of our patients want discrete hearing aids, but they also want to stay connected. We have the solution for you with the world's smallest 2.4 gigahertz CIC. How exciting is that? And what I love about this is the revolutionary design in that we actually built the antenna into the retrieval line. So what you have with this is 3 technology tiers, so down to the 1600 level. All of the connectivity you have with any other Evolv AI product. You've got your sensor technology, compatible with the Thrive app, everything you need, and it will have a 312 battery. I mentioned the revolutionary antenna design. So as an audiologist who's been fitting CICs, I think since they came out on the market, since they evolved, how many times have you had a patient come into your office and say, when I pull the little antenna out of my ear, and you say, it's not an antenna, don't worry. Now it is. That retrieval line is now doing double duty. So it is their lifeline to connectivity. So you know what that means for you as clinicians. No cutting it, no heating it, no bending it. You have to retrain yourself on how to handle that removal cord. We know you might forget that, so when you order the wireless CIC, you will receive a card reminding you not to bend, heat, or cut the retrieval line, because they will need that for connectivity. And give them the right expectation. If they want invisible, you've got an IIC and a non-wireless CIC, but if they want something discrete and giving them connectivity, there's a lot going on in there, so it will be a little bit bigger, but it is a CIC. It is going to be small. The retrieval line will be a little bit more rigid, but again, they can try to tuck it a little, but you don't want to alter that retrieval line too much. So lots of options for people who want something cosmetically appealing. But we know one of the tougher things is finding something to meet the needs of your patients with severe to profound, those tougher hearing losses. So we have a solution for that as well with the first Power Plus BTE with sensor technology. So it's also been a while since you've had a new Power Plus, so we're really excited to bring this on the market. Again, it's got everything you need. Connectivity, compatible with the Thrive app, all of the sensor technology. It does have the highest IP rating of 6.8, and it will have a 13 zinc air battery. We could have put rechargeable technology in here, but we know how much people with a severe to profound loss really rely on having their hearing aids available. So if they accidentally forgot to recharge them, we didn't want to have to worry about that. They can always grab another 13 battery. So as you can see, you absolutely have a style option to meet every one of your patients' needs with the Evolv AI product family. I hope you're all excited about that, but the other thing we want to give you is healthable solutions. We are the only manufacturer to have healthable technology, and we're giving you even more options for more of your patients. So one of the features that I really love in our technology is the fall detection and alert feature. We know how important this is to many of our patients. We know the numbers. About every 11 seconds, an older individual is seen in an emergency department due to a fall-related injury. We know there is the very direct link between hearing loss and risk of having a fall. Even those with a very mild hearing loss are 3 times more likely to have a fall than somebody with normal hearing, and there's actually a 1.4-fold increase with every additional 10 dB of hearing loss. So this is important, and we're really excited that we're now going to offer the fall detection and alert technology on every single technology tier of the Evolv AI wireless product family. So I think that is really exciting news. You guys have been asking for this for a while, so we're really excited to bring it to you. Also, with the fall detection and alert technology, we've improved the terminology within the app to make it even easier for the patient to understand. Should they have a fall, the terminology is going to be effortless for them. The other thing we've done is we've also refined the algorithm with the fall detection and alert feature so that it's now more accurate than it's ever been. We learned from all the data that we've collected and improved the algorithm. So now if you're setting it to normal or high sensitivity, we're going to have fewer false positives. And if it's set to a lower sensitivity, we're going to be sure that we're catching more of those falls. So great improvement with the fall detection feature. The other thing we know is when we're giving somebody better hearing and looking to give them better lives, you really need to look at the patient as a whole, and sometimes that involves loved ones and caregivers, people who are part of their world. So with that in mind, we developed our Thrive Care app. I think some of you are familiar with this app. It allows the patient to share important data with caregivers and loved ones who may not live with them. We know how important this is, so we're also excited that this will be available in every technology tier of Evolv AI. So they're able to share great data, things like use time, activity tracking, battery life for rechargeable social engagement. I think this is a great feature if you have a patient who maybe has some cognitive decline or dementia. They're always forgetting to put their hearing aids in. Their caregiver and loved ones can see that and maybe call them up and remind them. So it's a great app, a great feature. And then we have our intelligent assistant feature, so a gateway to information and making the technology as easy as possible for everybody to use. So some of these, we have our tap control, so this can be used to engage edge mode. It can be used to activate the Thrive Assistant voice commands. And if your patient has an accessory, they can also use this to start and stop streaming from their accessory. We have our real-time language translation. That's still going to be just in that top technology tier. I think now that international borders are back open and everybody's starting to travel again, they'll get more use out of that app. The transcribe feature is great. My mom wears Livio hearing aids, and she will use this feature when she goes to doctor's appointments. I'll talk to her that night. What did the doctor tell you today? She can never remember. So I said, just open the transcribe feature. That will transcribe it in your app. Then you can text it right over to me. Also, it's really good for grocery lists. And then our Thrive Assistant voice commands. You can use these to access information if you're logged into an Amazon account. You can use this to control the hearing aid, so I can just double tap and increase my volume or change my memory. I can use it to find my phone. Those of you who know me know how often I lose my phone, and it's always like in my purse or on the couch. And you can also use it to set reminders. So I can double tap and say, remember to set a reminder to call Vincent tomorrow at 2 p.m. and it will set that reminder in my app, and I'll hear the alert through my hearing aids. The reminders is a great feature for patients when it comes to taking their medication. Adherence with taking medication, especially in the older population, is less than 50%. So if they can get simple reminders through their hearing aids, this is amazing technology. And we've brought the reminders down to all technology tiers as well. So you can see we have a very feature-rich selection for you at every technology tier with the Evolv AI product family. You really do have an effortless selection. You have something for everyone, and you have an option to really meet the demands of all of your patients. I hope you guys are really excited about the new styles and all the technology. And with that, we're going to move on now to effortless connection. I think many of you have met Dave Fabry. He's our Chief Innovations Officer. He's come to Australia many times, but with everything going on, unfortunately, he couldn't be here with us today. But he did send a video with some great information on what Starkey's doing to improve connectivity with your patients. So we'll let Dave take it away.
And now the ability to be connected is effortless with Evolv AI. It's critical to stay connected to the things that matter most in life, the important people and moments in our day-to-day activities. But what do we mean when we say our commitment to connectivity? In this case, it can be connecting to your smartphone, to the professional, to family and friends, even to accessories. But a connected experience, while meaning different things to different people, it's rapidly become an expectation. And Starkey is pleased to lead the industry in sound quality and performance as it relates to this connected experience. And I'm going to spend a few moments talking about that commitment to connectivity. What we've done is really by developing the latest in sound quality and that best hearing performance, and the selection of the device, but then we also need to ensure that robust connection exists. And what we've done is we've reduced the connection time between the phone and the hearing aid at that initial pairing session by half, making it quicker and easier than ever for patients to get listening with their devices as soon as the professionals have fitted them. The other way that we're committed to connectivity is through by offering that Bluetooth low energy connection between both iPhone and Android phones, with more connections than anyone else in our industry today, with 31 Apple devices and 48 Android devices. But how do you know when a patient is coming in to see you whether their device is compatible? And which store do they go to download? It's as easy as using the quick read code that you see right here. If you have your phone and you're watching this, you can just take a picture and it will automatically come back and tell you whether or not that phone is compatible, and even direct you to the appropriate Android or iPhone store to begin the download process. The only thing it won't do is remember your patient's password for them. The seamless streaming experience, one thing we've seen is that in some cases, like me, when I'm on the exercise equipment in the morning and I'm streaming audio and I'm also posting something to Facebook, if I'm going on a social media site that has an embedded video or audio, even though I'm not necessarily wanting to play it, once it's in my screen, it will, in many cases, mute the audio for me on the microphones. And what we've done in this case to scroll over this embedded content on social medias is to change the default hearing aid microphone setting for streaming to on, so that patients won't have that experience if they're engaged in conversation while they're multitasking and suddenly feel as though they're not able to hear through their hearing aids anymore. As long as they're aware of this, they can still go to turn the hearing aid microphones off, but we've changed the default to provide that more seamless streaming experience in the event that they're on social media streaming while engaged in conversations with others in the environment. And another way that we're really pleased to launch an effortless experiences and a hands-free experience for the patient is to introduce two-way audio on iPhones with iOS 15 update. They now have access to be able to use the hearing aid microphones to pick up the sound of their own voice. This is an experience, obviously, for the person on the other end to have better sound quality without the patient having to talk into their smartphone, but it also provides a safer way to truly be hands-free for the hearing aid user. Another connectivity advantage is through accessories, and you see just an array of TV accessories and the remote mic plus and the smaller remote mic, as well as the remote control available for those who want that. But then the one that I'm really excited about is the table mic in the corner here that has an 8 microphone beamforming array that will automatically search and identify the location and use a narrowband beamformer to provide up to 8 to 10 dB signal-to-noise ratio advantage versus what would be available from the hearing aid alone in that environment. The Thrive app, we've continued to provide a good user experience and continue to improve the Thrive hearing control app for a seamless and confident user experience. Easier than ever to use. It's intuitively designed and requires very little instruction in order to understand how to operate the basic functions and even those more advanced features. It delivers that seamless hearing aid engagement, if you will, and control and feature access, provides an easy access and home screen that gives a great view of the health and wellness features and provides that safety and security and data privacy that is expected with a medical device like hearing aids. One advantage for those who may have had Livio Edge AI with Edge Mode in the past was using that double tap feature for some individuals was maybe a little difficult or maybe a little more obvious than what they wanted. And so what we introduced with now with Evolv AI is the ability to have Edge Mode be activated within the Thrive Control app. This is indeed backwards compatible with Livio Edge AI devices as well if they had that Edge Mode feature in the past. But this will allow the button to toggle Edge Mode on and off much more discreetly than having to double tap on the head. But the nice thing about the original user interface, either using a button on board or the double tap feature, is they don't even need their smartphone in order to activate it. So a lot of those users who really have gotten comfortable with the engagement for Edge Mode continue to find that a great option if they don't have their smartphone with them. Wellness score. Real-time tracking of both physical activity and social engagement. The wellness score addresses patient concerns related to mobility and cognition. And we've continued to sort of streamline that to make it more obvious with some of the naming of the different 3 elements for both physical activity and social engagement. And I can tell you, as somebody that's one of the most easily gamified people on the planet, that it encourages me to go back and provides that stickiness to the Thrive app. And I want to try to beat my score today compared with yesterday. The next thing, as I alluded at the start, was that connecting to the professional is an important way, and the last 2 years have really reminded us of the importance of this. 2020, and then especially in Australia, 2021 has been unmistakably the year of telemedicine. In the US, we certainly saw the impact beginning in 2020, extending into 2021, and nearly 3/4 of those who used telehealth services during this past time have indicated that they want to continue to use it in the future. So we've been sensitive to the fact that we really think that telehealth should not be for pandemics only, but should be incorporated as part of best practice to meet patients where they are. So we've made significant advances in our synchronous telehealth, we call it telehere, to allow professionals to meet patients where they are with the service and delivery. And while we've thought of it initially, I did my first remote programming of hearing aids in 1994 after the initial fitting, and telehealth kind of hid in plain sight for our discipline as well as others for about 25 years. But what we see now is we're expanding beyond simple reprogramming after the initial fitting to include remote first fit features to be able to initialize feedback cancellation, to do in situ audiometry, and really the industry's first, and I believe still currently only, technology that allows professionals to verify comfort when fitting with the devices beyond that initial in situ audiometry and feedback cancellation. The other features that you'll see listed here is just the accuracy of that first fit algorithm provides in situ thresholds that are as accurate as traditional booth thresholds. One thing I would encourage is that you can measure in situ, even if you're doing that with the initial face-to-face visit, so that in a telehealth solution, you could use in situ when the patient says that they're not hearing things as well as they were the last visit that they saw you, to see if there's been a change in their hearing or whether there's been a change in a problem, if you will, with a device, or something as simple as replacing a wax guard in the device. The preference for telehere was strong, as you see among participants here, in comparison and really as a tool that could be used for remote programming on the right side as a follow-up to that initial hearing appointments was seen by 91% preferred to have that opportunity available for making fine-tuning adjustments as long as they know when they need to see the patient for that face-to-face interaction, they're willing to substitute telehealth visits because people are busy. The adjustment capabilities that we're adding beyond just the simple reprogramming of gain, if you will, now allow for data log, quick fit, fine-tuning, sound manager, fitting summary, expert assistant, and even frequency lowering to be altered, as well as the new features that you see on the side to be able to add memories and indicators, tinnitus, best fit, tinnitus range and step size, and even the experience manager in the latest technology with this telehear program. It really allows that interaction between the patient and the professional to be almost access all of the features that you would have with a face-to-face visit, providing the patient with the adjustments that they want to get to better hearing faster, and provides the professional with a means to make and synchronize changes to the hearing aids without having the patient always come back in for a visit. Once again, we see that the remote programming results had strong preference for this and overall ease of use on the basis of professionals and the evidence to the patients that the audiologist can program the hearing aids even when they're at home or when they're not able to come in for face-to-face visits. Over 1 out of every 3 participants in the work that we had conducted in developing these enhancements indicated that the availability of remote programming would have encouraged him or her to pursue hearing healthcare even sooner. That convenience, especially among the baby boomer patients, was paramount and can be a differentiating feature for those who want to offer this service as a means of enabling hearing aids to transform someone's life, connecting them back to the activities and people that they love, as our founder Bill Austin said in this quote here. So with that, I hope that I've given you sort of a high-level overview of effortless connectivity as it relates to Evolv AI.
All right, thank you, Dave. He always provides such great information. I'm kind of bummed he's not here because I always like to give him a hard time when my wellness score is better than his, which is often the case. What you can see is a new era of better hearing is absolutely here. Best sound quality ever in making that hearing effortless for your patient. You've got the biggest selection in that full product range with effortless selection, and as Dave said, effortless connectivity, keeping the patients connected to the world around them and the people in their lives who are important. So with the Evolv AI product launch, we have loads of resources available for you. We've got new quick tips, all of the studies we mentioned, we have white papers that are available. You can access all of our new product portfolios and brochures, all of it by reaching out to your product specialist, or you can simply go to our Learning Hub. We know that sometimes you need a little bit more training and you love getting your CPD points. So we do have 3 endorsed webinars, 1 per month, that will just go more in depth on the effortless hearing selection and connection. So you can see the schedule there. You can also go to the Learning Hub if you want to register for any of those endorsed webinars. Speaking of endorsement, today's course has been endorsed for points. So if you're viewing online, you must pass the quiz. So it's available right away. Vincent may even put it in the chat box, but it is there on the web page. If you're here in person, I think some memberships you need to do the quiz, most you don't if you show up in person. But if you are taking the quiz, make sure you complete it before April 1st because I'll be submitting them at that time. Your endorsement numbers are up here. If you have any questions, you can put them in the chat box for Vincent. If you're online, we'll get to all of them. And then your product specialist will be walking around all night should you have any questions, and I will be as well. So with that, I'm going to hand it over to Dawn.
Thank you, Judy. Great job. I hope you've enjoyed what you've heard so far. We've got a couple more things just to get through before we finish off. So please hang around, like Judy said. We're going to be here for a little while yet. But overall, I think we've discovered already this evening that Evolv AI really is all about having that exceptional sound quality. We've got a complete lineup of range which really encourages us to work with you to make sure that that relationship is effortless. And just for the Australian market only, what we have done is we've not had a price increase from the Livio AI range. And we recognize that we have been doing it tough for a few years. So we wanted to extend that out to you guys and say, look, there'll be zero price increase. So I hope you can understand why we've done something like that. What I would like to do now, though, is hand over to Paul Sato. Paul's joined us tonight. He's the Asia Pacific Vice President, Commercial Vice President. So I have great pleasure in Paul calling you to stage. Thank you.
Thank you, Dawn.
Thanks, Paul.
It's good to see you all again. And I'd like to, before I start, say hi to people joining us from our Asian and Southeast Asia markets. And particularly, I'd like to say hi to you, USA, in Thailand. We will be there before the end of the year. And I'd like to thank them for their support and thank you for your support. Don said dress properly, so I wore my best t-shirt. And I'm going to go off script now because someone said I like Huey Lewis, which isn't exactly correct. I love Huey Lewis. So I'm gonna just share a couple of things that I like about working at Starkey and share a little bit with you about Starkey because you've had some great presentations about the new Evolv AI hearing aids, but I'd like to share with you the service that we know comes with them. So one of the great things I like about Starkey is Starkey really, with the help of professionals like you, does make a difference in people's lives. I've joined Starkey based upon my father's story and the fact that he actually wore Starkey hearing aids before I joined the company. I know the difference it makes. But a few years back, getting back to Huey Lewis, who is my childhood hero, my only one, Huey Lewis suffers from, and forgive me if I mispronounce it, Meniere's disease. So he suddenly lost his hearing and had to stop performing. And it really changed his life. And about 3.5 years ago, he went to basically the only person in the world who could help him, and that was Mr. Austin in the U.S. And they treated him and they fitted him with his first pair of Livios, and it changed his life. He could hear again. And let's see if we got a picture. So I heard the story, and he went and spoke at one of our events about 3 years ago, and this is true. I was at the event. I was very close to him, but I said, I don't think I'm going to be able to see him. And then it was a noisy event, which I'll get to. And I texted Chris Van Gilder, who's the Starkey Chief of Staff. I said, Chris, I'm not sure if this is my formal resignation, but I'm quite sure I can get another job. But I'm not sure I'm ever going to get a chance to meet Huey Lewis, and I'm going to go for it and go behind the scenes and see him. So Chris texted me back and said, Paul, don't worry. I think we'll give you a chance to meet him before he leaves. And so I did get a chance to meet with him. So this is me going up to him, babbling, incoherently about, I grew up in the Bay Area where he was from. And I think we've got another picture, but let me share the story. We talked about his hearing loss. This is a large live event with probably 1,000 people. He could hear me talking to him, which in hindsight, I thought, that's crazy. You're speaking to him, he can't hear you. But he could hear me because we completed the conversation. So that just reinforced to me the difference that the technology that we have at Starkey and with your help it makes in people's lives. And I'm still a great fan of his, but I really just remember that story and I could see the difference it made in his life and what he shared with me too. So that's one of the first things that I really wanted to share about Starkey. And by the way, if you want one of these t-shirts, we do have a few to give out. Just stop by the desk on the way out and tell them your favorite Huey Lewis song. Part of the competition. Power of Love is mine. Everyone plays Power of Love at the wedding, right? Okay, but the second thing is I'm really proud with the team because behind the scenes, Don mentioned, it's a tough few years. Like all of us, we've been working hard and we really take your feedback valuable. So thank you for those of you that did the customer surveys that we do every year. We're going to be doing another one. And for those of you calling in from our Asia Pacific region, we're going to be sending one out to you for the first time this year. We take those surveys very seriously. We put plans together to measure ourselves against them, and we want to really make sure that we improve upon them. And it's in all of our objectives that we do that. But another way I'd like to share a story with you about that is part of my role. I try to meet with all of our new managers across the Asia Pacific region. and welcome them to Starkey, but kind of share our values and what we value. And I had a meeting on Friday with our new HR manager for our manufacturing operations in China. And she said to me, Paul, what's one thing you want me to think about? One thing you want me to leave this meeting with? And I mentioned, I said, you know, you're going to be in meetings and you're going to hear discussions between our operations team and our commercial team. And especially when it comes to the customer, what you can do is this. If there's a disagreement how we're doing, you be the voice and you say, are we meeting the needs of the customer? Do we know that? I said, don't worry about whatever data is shown, whatever report is shown. Go out there and find that, because that's what we are about. Go straight to the customer and say, did we meet what you needed? And that's what we're passionate about at Starkey. It's great to have this technology, but if we don't do that, we're not delivering what we need to deliver to you. And so I'm really glad that the team's committed to that, and I thank you for taking the time to give us that information so we can work on that. And the last thing I just want to share is, and they've talked a lot about the new technology that we brought out, but if I'd summarize it from the feedback that I'm getting, both in the US and Europe, it's this. Number one, these are our best sounding hearing aids that we brought out. And you don't take my word for it, listen to your patients, look to get that feedback. And it was true. Huey Lewis said, I want the Evolvs. I'm not going back to Livio's when he got fitted with his Evolv AIs. So that's great, because we know that's the most important thing. But also, what's been highlighted today is we have a lot of unique features at Starkey that help provide better lifestyle, living opportunities, like with the Thrive app and the fall detection, and also the edge mode getting brought down to lower tier levels. All of this encourages the patient to wear the hearing aid more as well. And I think that's the key thing about it, to have our best sounding hearing aids, but to provide this unique technology to more patients than ever so they can benefit from them, but with your help, wear their hearing aids more. And that's the feedback that I've got from the US and Europe, which have launched before us, and we're really seeing some positive results there. So 3 stories about Starkey. I thank you for joining. I'm not joking about the Huey Lewis. There are t-shirts that we will give out. Again, it's great to see those face-to-face that we can see again. Thank you for those joining us online in Australia and Asia Pacific. And we're really keen as a team to get out and meet with you through the rest of the year and support you as you start to fit your patients with Evolv AI. So thank you.